For local history lovers, today marks a doubly dark day in Idaho's history.
The old pen closed its cell doors in 1973. Tonight, those cells claim occupants once more. Matt King joins us from behind bars with the story.
Roland and Michelle, right now I'm in solitary confinement. Not exactly the way you want to start your weekend. I'm also sitting in a state penitentiary where 61 years ago today, also on a Friday the 13th, Idaho executed two men.
Behind lock and key on the night of April the 12th, Ernest Walrath and Troy Powell waited. The sun would rise one more time, and then Walrath and Powell would own the dubious distinction as the two youngest men the Gem State ever put to death.
A lot of bad things happened here.
Walrath's and Powell's is also still the only double execution in Idaho's history. To teach and to mark that anniversary, the old penitentiary is giving tours at night through decrepit cell blocks that held 100 years of incarcerated Idahoans and into an execution chamber where our fine state's baddest criminals hanged.
We had escapes, executions, female inmates, male inmates.
Walrath and Powell joined those male inmates when an attempt to rob a Boise grocer went bad.
The sense of heaviness that people get when they come here, whether you believe in ghosts or not, that's a very real thing.
Walrath stabbed the grocer several times and killed him. Both he and his accomplice received murder convictions.
One of my favorite things is looking at mugshots and just kind of saying, oh, that must have been a really bad dude. And then you go and you look at his stories, and it's fascinating. Some of them are heartbreaking. Some of them really were bad guys.
We're not in the business of judging good or bad, right or wrong. But behind these doors on this very day, 61 years ago, Walrath and Powell hanged. 22 years later, the penitentiary closed for good. And this former fortress decayed into shells of secure buildings, school tours, peeling paint, and, well,
everyone has their own feelings about whether this place is haunted, whether there's ghosts, and we really leave that up to the individual.
They called that solitary confinement cell Siberia. I got out early for good behavior. As for ghosts, if they do exist, they're probably in this building right here. I don't plan to stick around to find out. At the old pen, Matt King, today's 6 News.
Coming up next,